Hi guys, it's your favorite technical analyst here again, and I am Gift, our trainer. Welcome to the fifth episode of Chat Time series. Chat Time series is a place it's a part of my YouTube where I come to analyze different financial instruments using the top-down analysis strategy. And for every first timers who are just coming into my YouTube channel, I would advise you to please subscribe so that when I post videos like this, you get the notifications as soon as possible and possibly execute the trade or the opportunities, on time. So in today's video, I'll be walking you through various financial instruments from Bitcoin to the dollar index and currency pairs like Euro USD and AUD USD to show you the opportunities presenting itself as we prepare to execute this trade in the nearest term and the nearest future. So without further ado, let's go. So welcome to my screen, guys. So this is my chart on Bitcoin USD. Like I said, the strategy I use is the top-down analysis strategy. So the top-down analysis strategy is the strategy that helps you identify the overall flow or the overall trend of the market from a higher time frame. And that is why you have my time frame labeled from the monthly to the weekly to the daily to the 4 hours and 1 hour. So the lower time frames like 1 hour, 4 hours are actually time frames I come to execute my trade. These are the time frames I use in executing an entry, my entries. So basically on Bitcoin, in my subsequent video, chart time series episode 3, I specifically forecasted Bitcoin rallying to the upside to about 30k initially before it came down here. So basically what I do on the monthly time frame is I come to identify the overall trend of the river. So Bitcoin currently has bullish momentum just right here on the monthly time frame, and you can see that this candlestick, it looks like a bullish engulfing candlestick right here, and that is what I come here to analyze. So once I see a bullish engulfing candlestick on the monthly, so today is Friday, the last day of the month of June, so what it means is that bulls or buyers are heavily invested on Bitcoin. And because of this particular candlestick pattern I see, it actually keeps my buyers on the buyers side, meaning I am highly bullish on Bitcoin. But that is not the only thing I used to actually work down in developing my confluence. So because it's the top-down analysis, I need to go down the time frame to see what exactly is going on. So on the weekly time frame, what exactly is going on with Bitcoin? So on the weekly time frame, I can see that there is an inverse head and shoulder pattern on the weekly time frame. So basically, this is what it looks like. There's an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So initially on Bitcoin, this was the inverse head and shoulder pattern I actually saw on Bitcoin that made me confident on the fact that Bitcoin was going to buy in the long term. This is the inverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. And even while Bitcoin was, while Bitcoin pulled back initially, so about 24,000 plus, you can go back to my on my Instagram, you find that in chat time episode 3, where I specifically said in my video that those that are going long for Bitcoin should just relax and chill, because this is just a pullback. I knew it was going to rally up. And how did I know that? Because the Fibonacci is a good tool I also utilize in analyzing the market. Fibonacci actually helps tell me exactly when to execute my entry. So my Fibonacci, I actually saw this on my Fibonacci. So this zone, this particular area is a zone I pride a whole lot, because it's just a basic statistical it's a basic fact for the Fibonacci tool, and it is whenever price comes and plays around the 0.5 to 0.618 region, you'd see price react heavily. And on that same area, here lies the minor support area. So I was very confident that once Bitcoin price went to as low as K plus per coin, Bitcoin was going to rally. So on the monthly time frame, we actually saw the bullish engulfing candlestick. On the weekly time frame, we can still see, the bullish engulfing candlestick. And now, what is holding Bitcoin down at the moment is actually because it's currently trading around a major resistance level. So on my chart, you find out that there are blue bars around. Now, the blue bars on my charts are actually the areas I call the major areas. So these areas are areas that whenever price touches or whenever price plays around them, it reacts automatically. And that is why we have Bitcoin basically reacting or ranging around the 30K plus area, because it has actually gotten to a major resistance level and price is bound to react. So the question really is, what's next for Bitcoin? And based on my whole confidence on Bitcoin, I am very, very confident that Bitcoin is actually bullish and for the long term. And as long as, okay, so my trend line, let me confirm my channel. So I am very bullish on Bitcoin. I'm highly invested on Bitcoin going long. So what I'm anticipating basically is that, for price action, basically, whenever price actually comes to complete its 100% retracement, whenever price comes to complete its 100% retracement level, you see it play around. It has come here to complete the 100% retracement level. So there is a tendency that we see Bitcoin, pull back down to certain areas of our Fibonacci before it continues to rally up. So as it stands, this is actually an area I'll look out for. This is a minor support level I'll look out for as well. So as Bitcoin basically stands, a few things are actually most likely to happen in the long term. We might see Bitcoin rally back, pull back to this area, retest our trend line and continue to rally up. But as long as Bitcoin trades below this blue bar, the resistance level, we would see Bitcoin still struggle. But if Bitcoin breaks above the resistance and trades right above the 31 plus region, the next target level for Bitcoin is about $36,246 per coin. That is actually going to be the next target area for Bitcoin if we break this region, because at the end of the day, price moves from zone to zone, and I am very, very bullish on Bitcoin. So the next target level, if Bitcoin breaks this level, the 30 plus level, the next target level for Bitcoin is $36,293 per coin. So let's watch out for that. However, I always analyze putting a condition around my analysis. So in case where we do not see Bitcoin break above this resistance level, what would happen? The truth is, we most likely might see Bitcoin just rally around and fall back again to the downside. But if we break above this level, trust me, Bitcoin is going to rally to the upside to about 36K plus. You heard it from here. Yes, that's my analysis on Bitcoin. The next pair I am going to analyze right now is the dollar index. So basically, the dollar index has been ranging, and the truth is, the top-down analysis is just a strategy that would make any trader identify that the dollar index has just been ranging. The dollar has been ranging. That is why in the last 2-3 weeks, and the month of June overall, the dollar has just been, dollar pairs like AUD, USD, Euro, USD, CHF, and the others, they've just been ranging. Absolutely, they've been hitting stops. I know a couple of traders can also tell. And that's basically because the dollar index has been ranging. There's been a lot of fundamental news in the last 1 month, basically different news. So that has really, from interest rates and all of that. So that has really made the dollar just range basically. So I believe the dollar is just reacting to all of this news. So hopefully by the month of July and August, we definitely will get a clear direction of what the dollar is going to do. But what exactly should we expect for the dollar? Now, the truth is, the conditions I have set out for dollar is this. On the monthly time frame, I can actually see that the dollar is ranging, and it's ranging on a major support level, basically. So the dollar is ranging on a major support level. So it makes my bias just absolutely conditional on both sides, both the buyers and the seller side. Because the market is ranging, and my trend line tells me that the market is bullish, right? However, I also understand that the market is ranging on a major area. So I would rather just sit on my fingers. I'll sit on my hands rather, because in a ranging markets are not the best condition to trade, right? So it's best to sit on your hands. However, since we are having to see the dollar just range on the monthly time frame, what are we expected to do? In my case, this is what I intend to do. Even on the weekly time frame, I can clearly see that the dollar is ranging. However, there are a couple of key reversal patterns I can also point out on the dollar index, right? So on the weekly time frame, I can potentially see an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So this is the head. This pattern looks like an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Sorry, this is quite big. Shoulder, right shoulder, and left shoulder. So on the weekly time frame, I can see a reversal pattern on a major support level on the dollar index. That is an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Head, left shoulder, right? And basically, the principle of price action states that whenever there is an inverse pattern, what are we expected to see? We're expected to see something like this play out. Because it's a reversal pattern. So potentially on the dollar index, I can see an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which means that potentially we can see the dollar rally up to this point if this holds strongly. And of course, it's a principle of price action. It is bound to hold. However, remember I said on the monthly time frame, we can see the dollar. All the dollar is doing on the monthly, it's ranging. But on the weekly, we can clearly see that there is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, reversal pattern on the weekly. So what does that mean? What information does this give us? For me, this is what I want to work with. Now, I said overall, I am actually bullish on the dollar index, and that's simply because on the monthly time frame, we can see its range on a major support level. So the support, this blue bar, the major support level is holding strongly, and my trend line also is pointing to the fact that this is a bullish market. And lastly, on the weekly time frame, I can see potentially that is a reversal pattern, an inverse head and shoulder pattern on the major support level on the weekly time frame. So what this confluence is actually supplying to me is that the bulls are really strong on the dollar index. Now, when we scroll down to the daily, let's see the information we can gather from the daily. So on the daily, apparently the range is actually looking clearer. So it's basically looking like a range. And on the daily, I feel there are some other informations that are very, very key or important to note as well. So on the daily, on this major support level, on the daily on the daily time frame, I can see a double top, right? A double top neckline. You can see a retest, and you see or pull up to a bullish engulfing candlestick just right here. And we can see that apparently on the daily time frame, the dollar index is trading right above this major support level. So what exactly do I look forward to seeing on the dollar? What I look forward to seeing on the dollar overall, like I said, because I can potentially see some sort of like conflicting patterns on the dollar, this is what I'll do. I'll sit on my hands and look for clarity. Like I said, on the monthly, we can see a range on the monthly. On the weekly, we can see an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Mind you, on a major support level. So I am heavily invested on the bulls taking up the dollar index. So basically, I'm expecting something like this to happen. A breakout, a retest to this, to the support level of about 104, and an upward push to about 109. So this is exactly what I'm looking forward to seeing the dollar do in the next 1 or 2 months. However, if the dollar doesn't do that and we see a breakout of our trend line and we see a retest somewhere like this, what that will mean is that the dollar has lost the strength and it's just going to pull down to the downside, basically. So that is just exactly how I go about analyzing, financial instruments. So you can see that clearly I am heavily invested on the dollar index going up. And in that case, so what this would mean is for dollar pairs like Euro USD, AUD USD, we'll see those pairs selling off significantly, if the bullish bias I have on the dollar index plays out. So that is all I have to say about the dollar index. So basically, let me just walk you through the currency pairs. So I've been watching currency pairs like Euro USD and AUD USD in the last 1 month as well. And like I said, basically, so the Euro USD is the inverse of the dollar index. So like on the dollar index, we can see that we had an uptrend, right? So a movement to the upside. And for Euro USD, basically, for Euro USD, we can see that Euro USD, the inverse is the case. So for Euro USD, we can see that it's a downtrend, right? My bias on Euro USD is actually a downtrend. I am strongly bearish on the Euro USD. So basically, like I said, I talked about the fact that the dollar index is somewhat not clear. Having explained to you guys that, on the monthly, we have a range on a major support level. On the weekly time frame, we can see an inverse head and shoulder reversal pattern on a major level, on a major support level. And because of that, there is no clear direction. And that is exactly why you have a pair like Euro USD somewhat ranging as well on a major level. Yeah. So let's look at what is happening on the monthly time frame. Like I said, the Euro USD is an absolute inverse of the dollar index. And can you see that on the monthly time frame of the Euro USD, there is an absolute range. It is ranging. There is no clarity. It is ranging on a major resistance level. So basically, it's slightly trading above the resistance level, but it's just around that area. Yeah. And so, of course, this is not a market you want to execute any entries on, because apparently the top-down analysis has shown to me that it is clearly ranging on a monthly time frame. And I want you to also note that the top-down analysis strategy is the strategy that makes you, corroborate all what is happening from the highest time frame down to understand what is going on at the lowest time frame. So what happens is you need to, combine all of the information you've gathered from the highest time frame down to the lowest to get the right information you need to execute your trade overall. That is just how important and how powerful the top-down analysis is. So on the weekly time frame of Euro USD, we can see that, it's just an absolute range. Apparently, suppliers are heavily invested in this minor area, and that is why we see that whenever price comes here, suppliers brings it down. However, we don't know who exactly is holding this market strongly, if it's the bull or the bear, because apparently it's ranging on a major support level, which can also be a resistance level. But what exactly is my bias on the Euro USD? Like I said, if we put our trend line here, on the weekly time frame, we can say that we have Euro USD trading right above our trend line. However, if we also put our trend line here, if we draw a trend line here on the weekly time frame, we can see that Euro USD is a downtrend. However, let me confirm with more tools. If I would draw my Fibonacci here, I don't have good data to draw any idea from here, right? Because apparently our Fibonacci is looking somewhat incorrect. So it doesn't make any sense, right? However, if I draw my Fibonacci from here, down here, swing high to swing low, I can make a lot of sense out of here. I can draw useful information from here. So what this simply means, like I said, the rule or the principle of the Fibonacci, whenever we have price trade just right around the 0.5 to 0.6 area, the principle of the Fib price action stick, that price would actually react and give us a 100% level retracement to the downside. So from this data, I can actually draw that we have our Fibonacci aligning well on the downtrend, and we also have our trend line also signifying to us that the trend is strongly down, which means bears are actually stronger on this trade. So what that simply means is that I have a stronger bias on shorting the Euro USD. To cap it up with the confidence I've gotten from the DXY, the dollar index, if, like I said, if the dollar index is going up, pairs like Euro USD, AUD USD would go down. So it's an inverse relationship. So with that information, I can tell you categorically that as soon as we have price trading right below this resistance, so I'm anticipating to see a movement like this. I expect price to come and trade right below this support level and a pullback, and then a movement to the downside. So this is the type of movement I'm expecting for the Euro USD. However, if that doesn't happen and the bulls actually take absolute control, what would make me execute a buy on the Euro USD is I need to see price trade right above here. I need to see higher highs and higher lows right above this minor support area, because it seemingly appears to be a minor level which a lot of suppliers are holding strongly to. So that is my analysis on Euro USD. And lastly, the last but not the least, AUD USD. So I was watching AUD USD closely throughout in the last 2 weeks. And as always, the top-down analysis would always elaborate what exactly is going on. So apparently, on the monthly time frame, I can see that, it's a downtrend. Overall, it's a downtrend. And just right here at the very end of the month, we see that, this bullish candlestick, it came here, but look at where it's closed and look at the week. It means buyers don't have enough strength to hold. So apparently on the weekly time frame, what do we have? On the weekly time frame, I can also see higher lows and lower lows, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low. And then what we saw here is a simple pullback. Then we can see this is a higher low, or we call this a higher low. Or we can also see lower low, rather. We can also see a lower high. And so, it's just the basic principle of price action. Once we have market structures like this, lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So what do we expect to happen here? Let me confirm with my Fib. And also, even on Euro USD, my Fib shows me here that, like I said, I explained this to you earlier, that when we have price around the 0.5 to 0.6 area, we see price react instantaneously. And on the weekly time frame as well, I can see this was a range, and you can see this area, this minor support area, is a significant level. It's an area that's holding strongly. And I can also see a candlestick pattern that is looking very nice, and that is the bearish engulfing candlestick on this minor level of support, of this minor level of resistance. Suppliers are heavily invested in this minor level, and I can see a bearish engulfing candlestick right on the weekly time frame. So what does that mean? How does this information help us? So what it means, in subsequent weeks or months, I am also heavily invested on the AUD USD dropping significantly. And why is that? That is because, based on my top-down analysis strategy, everything I have done, all my confluences is pointing to the downside. I remember in the course of this week, earlier in the week, I was I plan on executing a trade here. I actually missed an execution here. That was because I was actually busy doing some other things. So I was supposed to have my entry right here, but I just missed out for some reason. I wasn't paying closer attention. And then apparently even on the 4 hours you can see market structure taking place rather. Higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So my next entry, a potential entry point I'm looking for AUD USD is this area, and that's because on the 4 hour time frame you can see our Fibonacci actually gave a very good confluence here. And so this is a significant area I'm looking out for. So what I intend to do is, once price come here, and the cusp of the new month, which is July, I intend to short AUD USD. So I expect a lower high here and a new lower low. So this is an amazing opportunity you can also look out for AUD USD in the coming month. However, if that doesn't happen, because apparently even on the same chart I can potentially see a demand zone here. So basically we have buyers are also invested in this minor area, so we might see price just pull back and just come around to play here, and we might see something like this happen. We might see something like this, and because it is bearish and sellers are heavily invested on AUD USD, we can then see this play out. So this is my overall bias for the currency pairs, the dollar index and Bitcoin. I hope this video has been able to explain I hope I've been able to carry you or walk you through how I view the market and the trades or the currency, the financial instrument I'm looking forward to trading in the coming month. So let's go back to my screen. That is all I have to share with you today regarding the various instruments I'm currently looking out for in the coming weeks and months basically. So the core purpose of Chat Time series is basically to help investors and traders see how I actually view and trade the market, and I hope this video actually helps you. So that is all I have for today. So basically one thing I would also like to share quickly is it is very important that you stick to your strategy as a trader. I saw a movie recently in the course of this week, and a key lesson I learned from the movie is that regardless, even when it appears as though you're losing out or it appears as though you're losing out on the battle, you just need to stick to your strategy. As traders, trading is pretty much more like a war zone. It's a conquest game. So you should be able to always stick to your strategy regardless. You stick to your gun always, because at the end of the day, your strategy is the only thing that will help you always win, as much as you believe in it and as much as you stick to it. So that is all I have to share with you guys today, and don't forget to like the video, drop your comment down below, and also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're a first timer. I hope this video helps you, and most importantly, I hope you're able to make create good trading ideas off the overall analysis I did. And I would be back to meet you again next time, the same channel. Take care and peace out.